right, so getting into this whole Nick Cannon, which is wild and currently out there. I don't necessarily agree with Nick Cannon. I don't necessarily disagree.
There is some truth you can say. He was speaking his truth.
I think Nick is wilding out right now. Now, it's his podcast. He can do and say whatever the fuck he wants. That's clearly what we're doing.
Goddamn right. Free motherfucking country, America.
But Nick has said things that I'm not saying I would never say if I felt that way.
I'd say way worse.
If I read the literature that he read,
you'd probably say way worse.
If I look, there are way worse. Trust me. Trust me. There are way worse. But with the interests that Nick should have looked out for, he didn't own, he still doesn't own, and he never will now own any of that Wild 'N Out. So he didn't have anything.
Stars, whatever he does, you're incorporated, bro.
And
you're a slave to the what is it, the system?
Yeah,
you are
literally a worker bee, bro.
Yeah,
all that stuff that you might have brought forth.
When you like that, you see what happened with Kevin Hart. You see what happened with Kevin Hart. And he wasn't that mean about it. He said something 10, 20 years ago. You go in real time and spit that shit.
Today. Like right now. With what's going on across the nation. And with what's happening that keeps everybody indoors. So that you have no choice. What else are you distracting yourself with? It's not like you can go on vacation to Puerto Vallarta. It's not like you can travel to Europe right now. You can't do anything. So every little negative something that hits everybody's news feeds, or it doesn't even have to hit everybody's news feed, just one person's news feed, they retweet or they share or they do whatever. And it's out there now. Come on, bro.
We both don't have no problems with what you're saying. You feel me? We are both, I would say safely, we are conservative or right-leaning minorities. So you ain't gonna find no problem with us. The thing about us is we enjoy our freedoms, and our freedom of speech is important. A man should say what he needs to say or wants to say or feels how he say it. You know what I'm saying? As long as he ain't sticking a knife through you, you good. But apparently, you are in a dog eat dog side. So to be surprised that you got eaten by your own, right?
I canceled that like that. Cancel.
Whoosh.
And now you ain't got nothing.
I don't want nothing to do with this world.
That's what bothers me the most.
You more hurt than Will Smith. You nigga clutched his pearls on Twitter. That was crazy. Like man, the fuck. Like you a minute ago, you speaking what was supposed to be knowledge. Then you felt. I understand that you felt you hurt someone, which is the Jewish community, and apologize for it. But you said some other shit that people could take offense of, but they didn't. I mean, you call people savages. I mean, if you sit there and be like, Puerto Ricans are savages, I'd be like, fuck you. You can say what you want, but fuck you.
It ain't like you Prince, bro. You ain't got your masters. Ain't nah. You don't own Wild 'N Out. You don't own whatever other shows that you help produce or bring forth to MTV
America's Got Shit
or ABC or Vice. You don't own none of that. And here you are.
The nigga got the nerve to say there's 6 corporations that run everything you see, which is completely true.
And you don't have nothing from any of them. And now you over here biting the hand, side of your neck. Literally biting the hand that feeds you.
Viacom, nigga, that's one of them. One of the 6 that control shit. And I got a big issue with the conspiracy theory about 6 people basically. That isn't even how corporations work, my man. Like y'all passing knowledge that's just stupid.
It ain't knowledge. It's speculation. It's half truths.
Don't y'all
It's
niggas
misinformation.
run companies?
It's
Don't y'all think y'all go to these board meetings? Y'all see it ain't no one boss. The CEO is an employee. What the fuck you talking about? 6 people. Like what?
ask Dame Dash how big a boss he is right now.
I respect the shit out of Dame Dash, by the way.
Yeah, I do too. But ask him how big a boss he is right now.
Goddamn right. But you know what? At least the man was independent. And so when he was shut out by his own people, right?
Remember that.
He did, but he was shut out by his own.
Because he was part of the group, right? So he formed a corporation, and that's what happens. That's what happens.
At least he stands up to this very day. Oh well, I'll be an asshole. I'll be this. I'll be that. But you know what? I got me. Now you over here. I don't want to have nothing to do with the world. Like a fucking teenage chick. The fuck wrong with you? Man, the fuck up. I respected the words because you say what you gotta say.
What he needed was a Jada in his life to take some of that heat off.
Murd, son,
sleep with somebody.
Mariah would have fixed this whole shit you
right?
with her.
She would have fucking
fixed this whole shit.
She would have sang off key because she didn't want to sing, and people still would have passed out.
You should have let your man handle your business. You should let your man handle your business the way Will let his man handle her business.
Exactly.
You understand? You should let your man handle your business. That's what happened.
I had to sling this dick. Will wasn't taking it. I had to sling this dick.
Wasn't getting at the pussy. Wasn't getting at the pussy. I needed healing, son.
Will sitting there like waiting for that Oscar.
You know what I'm saying?
Waiting for that Oscar.
I need to feel right and shit. Yeah. All this pearl clutching shit, man.
Wow, and now that show wasn't that funny anyway.
That was alright. I hated the fact that he always won. Like that's just gay. Like,
couple of dudes is funny, but
sometimes he let it go because he wanted the people back on the show. But most of the time he won. He wasn't even that funny.
Couple of dudes is funny.
He tried so hard to get recognition, trying to do rap battles with people, and everybody's just laughing. He just Eminem or some shit like that.
Yeah, he tried to call out a bunch of people.
He's been trying.
Everybody's like
to get mainstream forever. Nigga, please.
Who?
We know what you like. Come on, son. Like we know. Believe me, we know. I do agree that about some things. I do agree on some things. There's some truth to this stuff, right? Like there's some truth to most things. Things don't usually fly out of anywhere. Like there's usually usually a base that it comes out of. But nigga, what? Compassion and melanin?
What? He's my man.
I lived in the hood my whole life. Them niggas ain't compassionate.
My man, you know,
compassionate. What the fuck are you talking about?
Anybody old enough to remember Idi Amin?
Idi Amin.
Anybody old enough to remember Idi Amin? Hey, as dark as he was, the compassion should have been.
Then he hung a nigga. He hung a motherfucker.
Yo,
by his skin. In an airport or some shit.
He was as close as you can get to the Black Hitler. As you can get.
Compassion in my ass.
As close as you can get.
Niggas is starving in Venezuela. Compassion my ass.
Ass. You talk about raw evil?
You said Cambodia?
Raw evil? That's Pol Pot.
Cambodia, my nigga.
That's
Penny Minute in there.
That's Pol Pot. Another person with melanin, right? Literally tried to outdo Stalin in terms of genetic cleaning.
Genghis Khan was plenty melanin, my man. He wiped out 10% of the population.
Actually had more to do with climate change than what these fucking Europeans are talking about climate change now. That's why Trump got out of the whole Paris deal.
Which was fine with me. I don't fuck about that. You need to stop
throwing money.
We need the series to stop pretending we give a fuck about this stuff. Like,
you
don't
know what I love about
about the Paris Agreement.
You know what I love about the whole
wake up in the morning,
change,
go get your fucking bacon and cheese. Oh, what about that Paris Agreement?
Or
here's
what you do: you tweet about climate change on your iPhone that was made in China, which is not a part of the whole Paris Agreement. That has these shops, that has these factories that literally just pump toxic fumes into the fucking sky. With this whole,
they're all 3-year-olds making them.
With this whole shutdown of the global economy, you take a look at the air pollution. You take a look at how the particulates have lessened over the same time period as they're recording from last year. You see how much the earth has cleaned itself up just because China had to shut down its factories in order to adhere to the social distancing guidelines and how they had to space stuff out.
China didn't hear this shit. They pushed people into their homes, nailed the doors, right? And right? That's what they did. That was some wild shit they did. China's some motherfuckers, boy.
And when the factories,
ain't no white supremacy in China. They don't give a fuck about your white people.
When the factories shut down for however long they shut down, all of a sudden, you see the pictures. It's not just smog and a couple of skyscrapers peering through the smog.
She got cleaned up.
You can actually see the streets. You can actually see the streets.
Any of what y'all talking about?
You could see the individuals walking on the streets. You could see the storefronts. You could see everything.
You know what's the most gangster shit I heard all year? The most gangster shit I heard all year. China, other thing is the prime minister or the former prime minister. Motherfucker said, listen what he said. All right, if China has to pay for this bullshit that we going through right now, right? The cove. If China has to pay for that, then America has to pay for AIDS. Mic drop, nigga. China don't give a fuck.
We ain't got enough money to raise.
No, we do not. China don't give a fuck.
We're going to have to borrow some money from China.
I'll be laughing when people say, "Oh, institutional and white privilege and all that." They sitting there like, "So where's that in China? Where is that shit in China?" They don't give a fuck. They gotta go. We gotta go beg they asses to get us out the fire. They are a developing nation. The second biggest economy in the world is a developing nation. They don't play by the rules. They undermine their currency, and they don't give a fuck. They don't. They run who?
All I've got to say is this, and you don't have to believe me. Do your own research. Why are there nets around buildings? Why are there nets around buildings in China? That's all I want to know.
That's a good question. Is it gonna
nets?
Meteors or some shit?
Nets? What are you trying to catch?
Godzilla?
What are you trying to catch?
Godzilla eggs. They don't give a fuck.
Fish jump that high? Did you want to fish jump that high? What are you trying to catch?
That shit's amazing.
You trying to catch a break?
I was listening to it and I was sitting there like, okay, it was kind of cringy. Listening to that shit's kind of, when you understand more than just one side of history, it gets cringy listening to that type of shit sometimes. Sometimes, your melanin makes you go, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And a lot of times when you know there's more than one side to a story, right? And you know that story. You're like, some bullshit. Feeding people some bullshit. That's all good. I mean, the whole 6 people sit on the table. Nigga, what are you talking? That's a boogeyman. You are literally forming a boogeyman. You are forming a conspiracy right there, a boogeyman. There's 6 people, my ass. It's not how corporations work. All right? There is 6 corporations that do control everything. The liberal media. They do run shit. That is true. There's some truth to that stuff. But you gotta just take out the bullshit. Like 6 people.
Figure-
Those people the people that own those corporations don't even give a fuck what goes on anymore. At this point in their lives,
At this point, they're already on the future tech. They're already well beyond what we're looking at.
They have already picked out their future body for when they die and they chip goes in there or some shit. All right, that's how well they don't even give a fuck.
They're already well past driverless vehicles, superhighways with not a single driver in sight. From San Francisco Bay to Denver, Colorado, as fast as a vehicle can take it. They're well beyond what we're looking. They're so far beyond. They're looking at when driverless vehicles do become the mainstay.
Yeah, poor people are worried about autonomous coming, but the rich know the autonomous have been here long ago.
They're already looking at.
They've already invested in this years ago.
How the landscape is going to change. How America, how all these other countries are literally going to change, because it's not just the driver who's now out of work, but because that driver had his rules and regulations, because that driver had to stop to go take a piss or shit, or he had to stop to get gas in his truck, or put air in his tires. He had to do all this. They make these way stations, these stop and goes, where you can pull in, get a burger, wash your truck, get gas, fill up
I guess some of the best snacks in them places.
Air in your tires, and then you hit the road again. Well, if there's no drivers, there's no need for any of those.
Nothing.
So all these little places, like in between, all those are gone. So those families now got to move. So these little towns that exist today won't exist. Postal codes will disappear. Cities will. I'm not saying it's going to be like Judge Dredd, where it's just going to be like mega cities with giant buildings, with like, a population of 100,000 in a single building. It takes up so much, acreage.
Let me just put it to like this, right?
But it's going to be different.
And
they're already there.
This is the poor man's mentality through 2 guys with a little money, right? They still talking about the 6 corporations, Viacom, ABC, all these, or Disney, or whatever. They talk about the 6 companies that run media. These 6 companies are not as powerful as they once were. They're clutching on for dear life because they held on to a conservative way of business. Right now, the guys that are way beyond them are the technology guys, the Ubers, the Teslas, the Amazons, the Apples, the trillion-dollar companies. You understand? These guys, they're the ones now. This is old information. These 6 corporations control. Like, bro, you would have been good 10 years ago saying that shit. We're way beyond that now.
Would have been good in the 80s.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right now, Google controls more of what you see. Google and Facebook controls more of what you consume in your daily life than any of those 6 companies now. All right? Tesla, Amazon controls more about your life than any of those companies have to do with you now.
Those algorithms that they've written that shuttle information one way or another can determine whether or not you watch this video. That's why you should like, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications.
Crazy right there. I'm telling you.
Do all that.
All that shit.
Because if you don't, that algorithm,
you're gonna get 10-year-old information from niggas that think they're giving you knowledge.
That algorithm is gonna
wild to me.
Shut it this way, move it that way, and all of a sudden you're not gonna know what's really going on.
How is Viacom controlling what I consume, right? If I ain't have cable or TV in 5 years. You understand what I'm saying? I watch YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. You understand what I'm saying?
Stay off that TikTok though. That's Chinese shit.
That shit is gay. TikTok is retarded to people.
It's that Chinese shit.
I don't care what Gary Vanderschnook says. All right, TikTok sucks, but this is old information.